What's good, everyone on YouTube? This is your boy Akil McLeod back with another video, and today we got a special one for you guys. Told you guys that I'm gonna start live streaming more often. That way, we can really just continue to build a community here on the channel. But most importantly, at least for me, I want to continue to interview people and just kind of highlight other resellers, highlight other entrepreneurs, so that they can share their journey with you all as well, and hopefully inspire you guys and shed some light and shed some different techniques, stuff on productivity, efficiency, on sourcing, just kind of just share different stuff. So as people continue to come into the chat, I'll wait a couple more minutes just so other people can hop in and join up. But today will definitely be a very special interview. Got my homie Bounty Nomad in the building. He's also eBay reseller as well. He's also an artist. He's also a new dad. So we're gonna be, well, not a new dad. He also just had another child. So we'll be talking about that as well, especially since that's been my lifestyle and one of the biggest things happening to me in the last few months. So we'll definitely be talking about that as well. So let's see who we got in the chat. We got a couple people in here. Can you shout me out? All right, shout out to you, Simply Nate. Shout out to you. Thanks for joining the live show today. We got Antoria, the Daniel Live Now. All right, and then we got Vonzella Rig. Shout out to Vonzella. Good afternoon to you. So without further ado, I'm gonna add my homie Bounty Nomad to the chat. Add him to the stream here. What's going on, Bounty?
Yo, peace, Akil. How's it going, man?
Everything is going good with me, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I've been a bit sleepy lately, as you know. I do have the new baby here, 2 week old, 2 weeks today.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
so that's happening. I mean, my wife is definitely carrying the load, but I'm picking up in a lot of other places where, you know, kind of stepping
Yes.
up or whatever, taking care of Lemmy a little extra. Um,
Right, right.
and just having to oversee things, it can make you kind of sleepy and a little out of it sometimes in the first couple
Yeah,
of
man.
months. Yeah.
If anybody know about that, it's me. Trust me. Trust me. I get it. Is how are you juggling because she's 2 weeks old now, and I know uh Lemmy, how old is Lemmy again? She's 5?
She's 5. She'll be 6 in April.
Yeah, so you got two girls.
Yeah.
How's the transition been with the new baby?
Um. Well, one thing I can say is, as far as like the child care part, it's much easier. Like it was a little rough the first day, but
Hmm.
maybe the second or third day, all of the stuff that I had to do when I was, when Lemmy was a baby, it just kind of came right back. The pamper changing and how to even just moving the baby from one spot to the crib without waking her up, and
Right.
it's the little things you got to do to kind of have keep a peace of mind or whatever. That stuff kicked in for me, and with Olemi, it's kind of wild because I feel like she matured overnight. She jumped right
Wow.
into a big sister role. When I came back from the hospital, it looked like she grew an inch and her face got bigger. You know?
That's crazy.
So it's been like that. So it's been
That's
smooth, man.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I know for me, like kind of like you said, those first couple weeks, for me, it was really a blur. Like it at first, it seemed like we had because we did a home birth, right?
Mhm.
So we had the midwife and the doula, and as soon as Sage was born, I feel like everybody was. It was a ton of people at the house. It was a ton of support, and then when Sage was born, everybody left, and I was like, so what's up? Like, where the help at? Like, who about to
Yeah.
tell us what to do? But like I said, those first couple of weeks was a blur, but so much smoother now. You know what I mean? Some of these nights is still tough where it's like I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know if like it's crazy. That's what kind of messed up my consistency with the channel because I was trying to stay as consistent as possible, trying to keep working as much. But then I realized like I just gotta submit, and I just gotta just be as present as possible because the time just gonna fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but let's talk about reselling goals because I know January. what is it today? January 6th.
Mhm.
Everybody's kind of still in that resolution mode, that kind of setting big goals and trying to stick to it. So what's some of your reselling goals for 2022?
Um, I don't know if I had any specific goals or specific numbers of anything that I wanted to hit for 2022. I definitely started off uh, the month because I'm just starting paternity leave, so I got 3 straight months off of my part-time gig, and I started off the year saying that I was going to max out my listings daily.
Mm,
Minimum 10 listings on eBay because of the little experiment that we had over the summer,
mhm, mhm.
that we can talk about later. Um, but I want to start there. Um, I tried to craft a list of goals a few days ago, and then there's something that Derek said to me that kind of rang in my head. Not ATL uh, flipper, Derek.
Oh, fundamentals.
Fundamentals.
Okay.
Um, I remember him telling me that I think I was trying to chop down a large tree, something along those lines, like make your goals a little smaller and chop them down in pieces. So I
Mm,
started off saying, you know what, I'm gonna just until I figure it out, I'm gonna start off at 10 listings a day, and I'm gonna try to get those 10 listings done before I take Lemmy to school in the morning at 7:30. So that's where I'm starting. And so far, I'm 6 days in, and I'm right on point. I'm caught up, and I'm still trying to work something specific out for the next, few months. But that's where I'm at with it as far as reselling goals.
no, that's solid. I think because when, like you mentioned before, when we were doing the 10 listings a day, um, that's what really helped kind of keep my business going. You know what I mean? Like that, I
Yeah,
realized I seen a huge spike in sales, and just for me, the consistency of it was what really, um, I know all my analytics was up. Everything like in your seller hub
yeah,
was green. Like everything was way higher. My
everything.
views, everything. So for me, I realized that just that consistency, just feeding the algorithm was what really kept me going. And the only difference now, I was talking about it yesterday, I'm trying to list higher items, higher price stuff, higher profit stuff. When we was doing the 10 listings a day, after like maybe 2 weeks, I was just looking around the house trying to find anything, anything for
Yeah,
10. So I was listing stuff for $5, $10, just to kind of get the
the
ball
algorithm
rolling.
going, and
Hmm.
it feels like that's more important. See, for you, I know that you're at a point in your career with eBay to where your sales are pretty much consistent for a while now.
Hmm.
I'm at a point where I'm just gonna make 2 years reselling in February, but I won't make 2 years on eBay until like toward the end of this year, right?
Mm,
So the type of jump that my account saw in just 7 days, it was unthinkable. I had no idea that I could do that much damage in just 7 days of consistent listing. And I
mhm.
would list daily, but it wasn't 10 consistently and in a way that we did it. And
Right.
by the time I was on day 15, I saw like the biggest days I had ever seen in my account.
Mm.
Right
That's what's
after
up.
that, it was barely 2 weeks, right? So I've heard so many times over and over that listing is the most important thing, you know, and
Yeah,
I proved it. So
for sure.
we proved
Because
it to ourselves. You know what I mean?
right, right. And I think that's what we needed. I think we kind of needed to do that challenge, to kind of test the market in real life, to see, because you hear other resellers say that. You hear people say the eBay algorithm needs listing, you gotta list. But that's so cliche at this point that, if you're not doing it yourself, you kind of wouldn't believe it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we proved it. And
Yeah.
I need to get back to that consistent amount of listings, because now I find myself, some days I'll do 5, some days I'll do 25, and then some days I might not post anything. You know what I mean? But once you consistent every day, even if it's just 5 every day, yeah, yeah. your business starts to just blow up.
I don't even understand how it works because some of the stuff that was selling that week is stuff that it's been in my account for years.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost
Mm-hmm.
like eBay said, "Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and find this. I'm gonna find somebody to buy this yo-yo for me." Like, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like they just picked like the most
Mm-hmm.
random stuff. So, but hey, listen, I had a little fall. For the people listening, um, I ended up taking a trip to Colorado. I live in New York, but I ended up taking a trip to Colorado right in the middle of our experiment,
Yeah.
and I set up so that I could list while I was in Colorado. I signed into my account in my hotel room and I started doing my listings, and eBay shut me down and erased all of my listings. So I ended up falling off. And
Mm.
yeah, so that's what messed up my consistent run. But I kept that in the back of my head the entire time that when I get ready to get on my next roll, I know exactly what I have to do to get the thing pumping. And that's where I'm at now at the beginning of the year, at that opportunity to get started over again with that type of consistent run.
That's
So
what's up.
far, so good.
I think that's the best part of eBay is the fact that you can kind of fall off, but once you get back on, this is almost like riding a bike. Like once you get back on, you could just get the ball rolling. As long as you got good stuff, you could
As long
make
as
some
you
money.
got, yeah, because that nowadays that's kind of rough out here.
It is. It is. I remember I was just in Ross yesterday, literally just trying to pick up some bibs for the baby. And I was like, let me check out the shoes real quick because you never know what you might find. Because the last few times I went to Ross, all I was finding was like what's that brand? RBX and
Oh, I mean, yeah, yeah. Oh my,
Nautica and like
yeah,
Paris, like you know what I mean? The stuff
yeah.
no one wants, you know what I mean? But yesterday I came up on some baseball cleats and they was some what's his name? Mike Trout. And they were
Mhm.
selling for like $80 and I spent $20 on it. So I grabbed those up. But I say all that to say, I remember when Ross was hitting, the Nike
Mhm.
outlet was hitting. You could go any time of the day and you'd always find something. Now, it's that's not the case.
Yeah, I was in the Nike outlet a few days ago, and
Mm,
I don't really go to the Nike outlet anymore because it's just been dead for
yeah,
shoes. You know what I mean? For shoes or whatever, clothes as well. But I just haven't really gone. And while I was there, I ran into one of the guys who I used to see all the time that worked there, and he said that to me. He said, "Yo, man, we haven't had any good discounts on our shoes since December 2019, was it?
wow,
2020. Since December 2020, man." And I'm like,
wow,
damn, it's been that long now? And he's like, yeah, man, we haven't. And we lived through it because the last time I did the live with you, I was 100%, not 100, but mainly 93, 94% shoes.
right. I
Nike,
remember.
UGG, you
Hmm.
know, over this past year, man, I had a major pivot. I moved into everything now. I got a lot of gear, athletic gear. I got
Hmm.
video games, game systems. I bought a ton of limited edition Halloween pumpkin smell Glade cans the other day for like 64 cents a pop. Stuff like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I've been moving into all kind of stuff now because of what they did to the resale out here. Um, and that, in a way, I'm kind of glad that it happened because I don't want to lean on one thing too much. If I'm trying to get in, if you're trying to
yeah,
get in the reselling game, you got to expand. You got to have enough to keep your business going. You got to know how to pivot and move because nobody's going to let you make a ton of money. You know, like somebody's always going to try to stop that flow.
absolutely,
You got to be ready
absolutely.
for the pivot.
With reselling, you got to be resourceful and you got to be ready for change.
Yeah.
Like, if anything I've realized during these 5 years, you have to be ready for change because I went from strictly thrifting, selling clothes, and like pretty much high end used clothes that used to sell for a ton of money. And then I went to strictly shoes for almost 2 years, the Ross, the Nike, the New Balance, all of those. And then when they cut that off, I went back to the thrift and now I'm doing electronics. You know what I mean? So if I kind of stuck to one thing and didn't really make those pivots, I may have tapped out a long time ago.
It does keep things interesting. I tell you
Yeah.
what,
Mm-hmm.
you and Ryan talked me into doing other things, and you and Derek really got me going into the thrift now. And since I've been going into the thrift, I've been having the time of my life.
That's what's
First of
up.
all, I found so many things that I actually need, man. I found a zip drive for my MPC. I was getting ready to buy one of these things online for $100. I found it in the thrift for like
Wow.
$10, brand new.
Wow.
You
That's
know,
crazy.
camera stand, all kind of stuff that I actually needed. But
Mm-hmm.
man, it's addicting because you go in the thrift, spend $10 and make 150. I mean,
Can't beat that.
over and over and over and over again. I watch you guys do it all the time.
All right. And that's one of the things where like it's a luxury for me to even say I'm trying to focus on higher profit stuff because I'm realizing and just a backstory as to why I'm even doing that. I know we was talking about, being dads and stuff like that, but time is so limited that I realized, my mindset before was, oh, if I can sell this for $10 and make $5, cool. I'm happy with that. But at the same time, you got to factor in the time it took for you to pick it up, the time it takes to probably clean it and take the photos and list it. And then
Mhm.
once it sells, you got to factor in the packing materials and the time it takes to ship. So you really may not have made $5 after all is said and done. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's something I had to realize. And well, you good? It sound like some
That's
chips.
coming through. Yeah, I think that's it's like coming through your mic on my end and going back into my mic.
I think I'm good now. Should be good now. I don't know. I'm still hearing that.
Let me see if I mute mine. Let me try something.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I don't know. It's sounding real crunchy. Well, no, it's a little better. Did you do anything to your phone?
you, nothing at all. You want me to? I was actually hearing it the whole time.
Really? I just started hearing it. Drop a
No,
comment in the chat if you guys hear this like crunchy sound, because I know that's probably gonna piss a lot of people off. That's probably not the best listening experience. Sounds like typing. Yeah, I
you
don't know.
hear it?
Let me see.
I
Yeah,
want me
let
to
me
leave out,
see
come
if
back
I
in.
remove you. Yeah, let me see. Oh yeah, that's definitely your stream. That's definitely your stream. Or chips. Yeah, that's definitely your stream.
Okay, let me come out. I'm gonna come out and try to come back in.
All right. Yeah, so as he fixed those stuff, y'all watching it real. We y'all watching it live. This is the type of stuff that happens. But yeah, just kind of going back to what I was saying in terms of like switching that mindset and really paying attention to the margins. It's one of those things where I used to always tell people, I would pick up a video game for $1 and myself for 9.99. But after shipping and fees, you think you're making $5, but you're really not making, that full $5 because, packing material, the tape, the the shipping, the fees, those types of stuff kind of just eats away at the profit. So lately what I've been doing is just kind of focusing more on higher profit items and not super high profit here. I'm not talking about everything I pick up needs to bring in at least $100. I went from if I can make $5, I'm good with that to now I'm more focused on I need to make at least $15. And thankfully, I've been finding stuff that's selling for like 40, 60, $100. So I'm still kind of doing better than I was expecting. But, I just kind of had to level up the bar, raise the bar a little bit just so I can see some more profit. All right. So, yeah, I think we better now because I'm
I
not
don't hear
hearing.
anything. Wait a minute.
Yeah. You might just need to put your phone on like a stand or something.
Okay,
On,
let's see.
is it plugged into something?
It was plugged into the charger, but
That's what it was. That's what it was. The charger.
okay.
But yeah. So I was basically just letting them talk, just letting them know about my mindset in terms of profit margin. And for me, the very least, the cutoff point for me is $15 when it comes to profit. What's your cutoff point when it comes to profit when you source?
This girl, she's that my daughter's perfect timing. Um, so when it comes to profit margin, I guess it first I have to look at how much it's gonna cost me to mail it. But I usually charge for shipping anyway.
Hmm.
But I'm at the point right now where if if it's gonna cost me just a few bucks to pack it up and ship it, and it's gonna add to my listings and to my algorithm, then I'll take about $15 off of
Yeah,
off of an item or whatever.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean that makes sense because,
Can
like I
you
said,
hear that? Can you hear that noise?
yeah. I mean, it's real life. This don't even worry about it. This is
Okay,
real life.
okay, all right, cool.
You know what
Sorry,
I
y'all.
mean? Because
It's
because trust me, this is one of those things where um I used to put so much effort and energy into, in the sense of like I want my stream to be perfect. I want my videos to be so crisp and clear and perfect. I'm not on that no more. For me, I'm more so about getting to the content and really getting the reps in and just showing up.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That kind of like we've been saying with eBay. You show up consistently, you list more, you make more money. For me, I show up, I provide value on YouTube, and I feel better. The viewers get value out of it, and that's my focus now. I'm gonna still edit videos and post and try to do some dope edits,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna really just try to show up more this year. You know what I mean? No more excuses. I made a lot of excuses. 2021, I was full of them. So
How
we moving
often are you
different.
planning to go live this year?
As
For
much as possible. I don't want to like set like a rigid schedule and then disappoint people and say, oh, I'm showing up every Monday 6 p.m. because Monday 6 p.m. Sage might be having a fit, and then I can't. It wouldn't make sense. But kind of like we was having conversations offline. You wanna hop on live. You wanna talk eBay. I want to just get it done. You know what I mean? So once or twice a week,
Mhm.
I'm good.
Well, I tell you what, back when you first started doing it every Thursday, that was
Hmm.
right around the time when I first found you. And it was a group of us, man. We used to like religiously. I would do my reselling and I would watch all these videos and I couldn't wait to Thursday to come in and check your live. Cause no matter what you were talking about, no matter what the discussion was or what was commenting or whatever, it was just inspiring because you do what I wanted to do or what I was trying to do at that time, and your information was golden. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Your experience, it was all there. It all showed or whatever. And
I appreciate that.
yeah, yeah, man. So I know that it because if people are watching like the way I was, it is helping. It's helping people a lot. So building this community is important. I remember the days when you didn't show up and it was like, oh man, I done came home, got my food ready, popcorn. You know what I'm saying? So,
And you know what it is? I was too caught up in the numbers. Like I
mm,
was so like at one point I remember I was doing streams and I was getting, a couple hundred people would show up, maybe 100 one day, and then the next maybe 80, and I was cool with that. And then I think because I didn't have enough structure to my shows, where I was not like I didn't have okay structured topics. Okay, I'm gonna talk about X, Y, and Z, and
mm,
then I'll field questions. I started getting lazy. Then I just started doing, oh, ask me anything. Let's just talk. And
mm,
after a while, it's like if you don't provide structure to a show, it's gonna start to fall off. You know what I mean? Because you're dependent too much on people asking you a good question. So you have to do both. You gotta let people have a platform so that they can ask their questions and get something out of it. But I had to do a better job at creating that structure. So this year we're gonna turn it up. You know what I mean?
I'm here for it, man.
We're gonna
I'll be
turn it
here
up.
every week, every day, every other day, whenever you do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get it done. We got a question from Shorty Doo-Wop. Do either of you set a time when you work? Example, at night, straight 8 hours, or in chunks? That's a good question.
Me?
Yeah, you could take that first.
Um, so I tend to get up very early in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the time, if I'm gonna do my shipping, that's the first thing I'll do is I'll get together my packages, and then I'll get my listings done. I try to meet my listing goals and pack my packages. before I take my daughter to school at about 7:30, 7:45 a.m. Um, the reason being is because the lines are shorter at the post
Right,
office,
right.
number one, and I like
Mm-hmm.
to get the work, get the business done, and that way, if I want to go extra hard, I got all day long to do that. So, but I
Right.
try to do my stuff early in the morning.
Um, I kind of it varies for me. You know what I mean? Because I've started to wake up a little earlier now, so that I can, wake up before Sage gets up. Change her and just usually I put her right back to sleep after like the first hour that she wakes up. But when I'm up, I'm usually just dad mode, and then I usually get the ball rolling around 12:30, 1 o'clock. I'll start hitting the thrifts. Then once I come home, if everything is under control and Sage is taking a nap, I'll start listing right away. And then sometimes, if not, I might not list until 9, 10 o'clock. But for me, it's more so in chunks. Like I try to just do as much as I can when I can, because right now the schedule is so chaotic that I can't really say, okay, I'm definitely doing this at this time. Like
Mhm.
I've tried it and that it doesn't work. Not right now. Not right now. Shout out to Shorty Duop for the question. Um, I had something else on my mind I was going to ask you about. Um, in the sense of eBay, are you selling on any other platform right now, or are you just doing eBay strictly?
Well, mostly eBay because I'm trying to build that account.
Hmm.
But I'm also on Poshmark and on Goat. Goat is still selling on Goat. I mean, shoes is still selling on Goat pretty well.
Oh, it's still doing well for you. Like
I
it's
mean,
still
yeah,
selling pretty
the
good.
shoes that I do have there, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what? Goat has been seasonal, man, because even Goat slowed down a bit. I don't know if Goat slowed
Mm,
down or if I just ran out of shoes on Goat. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, but
I
Goat
mean,
has
that's
always
probably
done
it.
well.
That's probably what it was, because I know we haven't been going to Nike and stuff like that getting the good shoes. So
Right.
if you ain't got the inventory and sales slow down, that's usually why. You know,
Yeah.
I had made a sale on Goat about 2 weeks ago, and it was for a shoe that I didn't have anymore. And I remember you gave me a gem. Told me just send out a shoe, just send
Yep.
it out, and they're gonna message you back and say, this was either the wrong shoe, wrong size. Do you want it to list? Do you want us to just list it and have it on? Like they'll take care of it and they'll ship it out. And I said, sure, I'm gonna do that. So I've done that maybe 4 or 5 times. But the last time in particular, when that happened, I shipped out the shoe and they accepted it. And it was the wrong shoe. And they just accepted it, gave me the money. I was like, oh, this was a nice little surprise, but I'm here for it.
Well, I want to give you a quick update on that.
what
I'm gonna tell you why I stopped doing that, man.
was
Because
that?
I got to the point where I list 100 shoes on Goat, and they will be selling on eBay, but I wouldn't remove them off Goat because you know what? If it sell, I just send another shoe. Because I
Right,
still got a bunch of shoes sitting at Goat right now. I got a nice little stock over there waiting for
right,
somebody to buy.
right.
Right. So this is what they start doing to me. I sent the box. It was some Air Max, fresh, brand new box. They
Okay.
took it. They said, "No, this wasn't the Jordans that you sold, but we're gonna keep it and list it if you want." I said, "All right, cool." I hit the button. Y'all go ahead and list it for me. They listed it as a shoe with no box top,
Oh
right?
wow.
So there's no real way for me to say, "Yo, you listed my shoe as a." I
Right.
gotta acknowledge that I sent you a shoe by mistake and blah blah blah. But then it happened again. They put like, oh, scuffs or this or discoloration, and I'm like, yo, I know that that's not the shoe I sent you. So I think
Damn.
I don't know if the person who was opening my packages like was the same guy or something.
Probably.
I don't know, but
Probably.
I'm scared to do that on Goat now, man, because that's what
I
they've been doing
mean,
to me. Or I'll
I
just send like
mean,
an old cheap shoe or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a useful tactic and a useful tip if you do it once in a while. But if you start to abuse it and you keep sending them shoes that's not what's sold, they're gonna catch on. You know what I mean? I did it maybe 5 times in total. So I think my I reach my limit. If it happens again, I'm gonna just take the L
Well,
and
you
just
know,
not
give them
ship
a
it out.
little month and a half or something, 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Then
It
you can
might be a
send them
new
another
goat
joint, like
shipper.
a.
Might be a new goat inspector in there, and they might forget. You never know. We got another question over here from Becky Shep. How do you guys organize your inventory? Okay, so I can answer this one. I'll start with this one. I tell people all the time, my inventory system is super simple. I got about 30 bins in my garage, and I have them just laid out on shelves. So I stack up the shelves pretty high, and all of them are labeled A through 10, B through B, A1 through A10, B1 through B10, and so forth. And that's how I list everything. And in my eBay listing, under custom SKU is where I put C7, A4, whichever bin that it's in. And just by using that system, I've never lost a package. I've never lost an item. It's been great, and it's super simple. It's not like a very detailed thing where you need an Excel sheet or anything like that. But how about you? How do you organize your inventory?
um, I don't know if it's very organized. Well, it's organized in the sense that the shoes are with the shoes, the shirts are with the shirts, and you know what I'm saying. But
Right.
you know, the house that I own here now, the house that I have, the guy who owned this before us, he was like a fashion, just like he made clothes. So
Mm,
the part of my house where the laundry room is, it has like a ton of big closets that are long and that's actually made for storing clothes and clothing items.
hmm.
So right now I'm just using that. I got one area back there, one closet where I keep all the boots at the top because because I organize it in the summer. So I kept the boots at the top,
Right.
sneakers, shoes, all in this big closet, and I got a rack next to that. And then my clothing items are in of just a few bins, and I keep them stacked up. So it's no real organization because I'm doing it in a house.
Dolo.
But
Right.
I'm since one of the things that I've been planning for since I found out my wife was pregnant was this paternity, and one of the first things I want to do is get a shed for myself, like a storage shed.
Mm.
So the first thing I'm working hard for is to get a storage shed while I'm on paternity, and I can finally organize it like a kill and all these other YouTubers that I watch or whatever.
Yeah, I think because so let me ask, have you ever lost a package or lost the item?
As far as lost it, I can't find it to send it out.
Yeah.
Um, no, I don't think so. But I have
Okay.
lost a package before. Well, I had a package stolen, but
Oh
that
well,
wasn't my
yeah.
fault.
Well, yeah. Well, that's different. Because my thing is, unless you have employees or somebody else working with you,
Mhm.
as long as you know where your stuff is at, that's what matters.
Right.
Some people that resell part time. Some people I know they use like just one closet, and it might just be stuff thrown in there, however it is. And when it's time to ship it, they can't find whatever they're looking for. So
Mhm.
as long as you know where your stuff is at, you good to go. I only started organizing my stuff when my wife started helping me with the business, and she doesn't help me with the business anymore. But it was crucial during that time because I needed to make a system in order for her to find stuff once it's sold. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that was crucial for the business. Josh says just be careful with the label placement. Yeah, my labels are right in front of the bin, so I see where it's at, and it's just set up for if anybody was working with me, it will be easy for them to find it. You know what I mean? Jonathan Brown, hello people, what's going on? What's going on?
Yo, peace of my guy Jay Brown, man.
Oh, you
I
know
want
Jay
to give
Brown?
us,
Okay,
yeah, man. That's a good friend of mine, man. I want
okay,
to
that's
give a
what's up.
shout out. I missed the brother. We got to get together, man, and go do another sneaker heist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, the sneaker game is so tough right now, man. It's one of those things where I know a lot of people that was reselling shoes because a lot of people, I think 2019, 2020, well, maybe not so much 2020, but 2018, 2019, a lot of people was introduced to reselling, specifically sneaker reselling, and they was killing it because it was just an abundance of stuff to flip.
It's
And I
crazy.
think a lot of those people kind of moved over to like crypto and stuff now, you know?
That's what happened with me last year, bro.
So talk about the crypto. Let's talk about that. How has it been going for you so far?
Oh, the crypto, man, it changed my life pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, like, yeah, yeah. I don't even know what else to
You don't
say,
even
man.
know where
Like
to start
without getting into too much,
because
you know.
because go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
go
I'm
ahead.
listening. So to tell you the truth, this is how it happened. See how I brighten up, right? So this is how it happened, right? I was making a lot of money from the shoes in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and I was saying to myself, "Yo, I'm getting a lot of cash coming in. I need to do something with this money. I
Yeah.
gotta do it." Now I was already big in the stock market. I was in the stock market before I got in the shoes. Um, Make a long story short, I went to my cousin's house. He showed me his crypto. I was amazed at it, like how much he
Mm-hmm.
made, and I
Mm-hmm.
jumped in, and I jumped in January last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, you could just look at where the prices are today. First thing I did was I bought a bunch of Ethereum. I started with like 4 or 5. I started with like 4 and change. Then I got like a bunch of Chainlink, Bitcoin. I got a bunch of stuff, man.
So full Ethereum. This is like before it hit 3K and 4K.
Oh yeah, yeah, this was
Okay.
before that. So
Okay.
I started with like 4 point something, and at this point, I did so much trading and or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I started there. So this is why I did that. I knew that I needed to get in now, but I know
Mm.
that I didn't know what I needed to know to make my own real decisions. Not like I do today, right?
Right.
Today I can go through that shit, uh, left, right, up and down. So
Right.
I went to look toward the professionals, the guys who I know, who you could kind of look their history up on the internet and watch them make their millions from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I saw was the one guy who turned 40,000 into 5 million online with crypto. I saw
Mm.
his most recent interview, and somebody asked him a question, and he said, "I don't own Bitcoin anymore. I'm all in on Ethereum." So when
Mm.
I heard him say that, I said, "Okay, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna learn what I'm doing. Then I'm
Right.
gonna double back, and I'm gonna spread out." So I started doing the knowledge or whatever. And the meanwhile, Ethereum shot up to like 4,400. So
Mm.
I cashed out and I put that in the Cardano and some other stuff. And then Cardano went up and I cashed out of
Mm.
that. And then and
That's what's up.
it did pretty well for me this year. So now I'm in, and I pretty much turn in everything I own into crypto. I will never go back to the dollar bill again. Once you understand the
Wow.
technology behind that shit and what it is
Mm.
you are missing out on, if you knew a tad bit of what this technology was, you would probably do the same thing. And I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to whoever's watching or listening.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, I believe it. I think for me, I was definitely a slow adopter of crypto. I know this ain't even much that I talk about it, and I still don't know much about it. I haven't invested a ton of money in it. I'm not a, I didn't make a ton of money off crypto, but it was one of those things where around that same time where you started investing your sneaker profits into crypto, I was investing my sneaker profits into buying my first house.
Yep. I
You know what I
remember that.
mean?
Yep.
So it
Yep.
was like that was when the market was getting crazy, and it was less homes than there were more buyers than there were homes. So it was one of those things where I'm thankful I took that route, because I don't know if I'd be able to get a house in Arizona if I was on the hunt now, because it's just completely different ball game. My house went up almost like 40% from the time I bought it.
See what I'm saying, man?
And
You
it's
gotta
like
get in, bro.
you gotta get in, and it's
Yo,
similar,
listen,
it's
man.
similar
Like
to
I tell
crypto.
you, man, never take for granted the fact that look what you did, bro. You grinded yourself a home.
Yeah.
Not only that, but look at everything you did. You grinded yourself to a home, and you got these people watching and listening to you, and y'all listening to the right person, man. Like, look at that. That if that shouldn't tell you, you know what I'm saying? What's one of the first things if you just do a Google or look up how to become wealthy or how to, you know what I'm saying? Well, the
Right.
first thing they tell you is investment and property.
Yeah.
This man grinded himself into a crib, and he got his wife and his beautiful child, and look at him. You know what I'm saying? You could do this shit too, man.
I
You know what
appreciate
I
that,
mean?
bro. I
You could
appreciate
do
that.
this. And not only that, you got a lot of other things about you that people probably don't know, man. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try. First off, thank you. I appreciate that for
It
sure.
is what it is, man.
You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where I'm a most definitely open up more and start sharing other sides of myself on the channel because I think that's important. But just overall, just purchasing the house, especially during that time, just it's almost like I was not unappreciative, but I didn't take the time to like enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? As soon
Mm.
as we closed on the house and had keys in hand, the next thing I said is, "Yeah, this only the beginning. This house number one. We're gonna do this again next year." And it's just like, whoa, slow down, bro. Like, like enjoy your house first. Like,
Yeah, man.
make the bed first. Sheesh. You know what I
First of your
mean?
labor,
So,
bro. Take a
you
second and breathe it in. It's
know
okay
what I
to take a
mean?
little break, man. Like,
I,
you know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
I'm on break now. I've been like not coasting because I'm still working because I'm like a recovering workaholic. So I'm like I have to still be productive in order for me to feel like myself. But my output is nothing like it was before, and it's majority reasons because I have a daughter now and I'm trying to be as active as possible. But I realized I had to fall back. I gotta enjoy this. Like
You
she only
have
gonna
to.
be this small, but for so long, you know.
Look, man, you are able to be there. You know how many people? There's probably people right now watching you that they got to get up and they got to go to work and they got to miss whatever's happening with their kid tomorrow because of that.
Yeah,
And they
it's
watching
tough.
you because they trying to get where you at, man. You can take
It's
a
tough.
break, man. You're at that point in your life where you could take a break, man. You can afford to. You like you worked your, you know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah,
don't have a boss to answer to. Mhm.
that's a good way to look at it. The funny thing is, you say I don't have a boss to look at. I mean, boss to answer to. The one thing I noticed about myself was that I was a terrible boss to myself.
Mm.
Because I didn't give myself time off. I didn't give myself a vacation, like a real vacation, because even when I took a trip or went out of town, you guys know I still was vlogging. I was still doing trips to the thrift. I was still, you know, trying to be as involved as possible. I never took a time to just unplug. And this year, especially moving forward, I'm gonna be chilling. Like I have to chill. I have to relax because if you don't, that's when not only business starts to suffer, but your personal life starts to suffer. So that's
What are you
something I'm just
doing
paying
with your time?
attention to.
Like, what are you doing with your time off? Like that time off, but with your,
So I haven't done it yet, but in the things that I've actually started implementing, massages is huge. Um, Going to the gym and just working out. And I say this because it sounds like, oh, just working out. Duh. When I go to the gym, when I was going to the gym before, it was like structured, very structured. Because I'm just like, I would hit 4 or 5 different thrifts, come home, eat a meal, then go to then go to the gym for like an hour, and I'm watching the clock. So I'm hitting my reps fast. I'm doing everything fast.
Mm.
But now I'm like, when I go to the gym, I'm on the stairmaster. I'm watching a podcast. I'm jumping rope. I'm taking my time. An hour and a half, 2 hours go by, and it's just like, okay, this is a good solid workout, but I'm in the moment and I'm present. And it's like almost like you step away. It's almost like I'm in the metaverse, bro. You know what I mean? I'm letting myself be present, and that's is different. You know what I
You
mean?
do
It's
your videos after the gym?
no, I usually do video sometimes.
Oh,
Sometimes
because I remember when I found you. I don't who remember when I found the kill like in the beginning, the kill was like a picture. What you call that when you look at the YouTube video, the thumbnail.
the thumbnail,
Thumbnail.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
thumbnail
thumbnail.
it'd be like a kill. It'd be like eBay sales are strong. Big muscles. eBay sales are strong this week. You gotta
Yeah.
start doing that with the thumbnail
Yo,
beginning. You know what
nah,
I'm saying?
I ain't gonna
I
do
found this watch.
that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that no more. I was trying to incorporate the fitness stuff into the trip to the thrifts, and it wasn't really hitting like that. I was like, nah, I gotta cut that out. But yeah,
Yo,
man,
people
just
watching, we need to work out too, man.
it's important. It's more
We,
important
you
than
know,
people think, for sure. But I mean, I might, if anything, that's something I might have to make a second channel for. Because even doing these live shows and the like, moving to more of like a podcast format, even something like that, working out and gym talk is something separate. Like that's a whole different audience that would appreciate that. You know what I mean? So I don't even want to do that to my tribe now. People gonna be like, bro, what are you doing? I don't want to see you flex on it. I'm trying to see what's selling on Poshmark or what's
nah,
selling on eBay. You know what I
that
mean?
kind of happened with me. I put my resale videos up, and the people that like my music was like, "Yo, bro, what's popping? Yo, you not doing shows no more, man?
Right,
What's
right,
this, bro?" I was just like,
right.
"Yo, look, I'm just putting up the resale. I figure I'll put a resale video up and put some music in the background. Hey,
Hmm.
get a 2 for 1. You know what I'm saying?" But
That's
I'm
a
gonna just
fact.
keep throwing video. I might put a video up sewing one day on my joint, and put a video up counting cards and blackjack, and then the next
Right.
day drop a rap video. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see. Yo, Jay Brown just asked. My wife asked, "Are you rich yet?"
Yo,
Yeah.
listen, we had this conversation before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rich, and what I said? I live a rich
I
life.
forgot, but I remember you always would ask. So, bro, are you
You
rich
rich?
yet? Like,
You rich yet, man?
and
You.
it was such a serious question. I was like, damn, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like,
Nah,
is he
I
about to
definitely
rob
live
me
a
if I
rich
say
life,
this?
man. Look, and that's what it is, man. When you talk about rich, that's the first thing, yo. It all started when Lemmy was born, man. When Lemmy was born, I decided, yo, I'm gonna change my life. And I started listening to podcasts. I started investing. I started
Mm-hmm.
everything happened when Lemmy was born. And the first thing
Mm-hmm.
I found was radical personal finance. I don't want to drop this on your thing, but
Good,
that guy,
good.
he said some racist stuff one time. I kind of stopped listening. But anyway,
Mm.
um,
All right,
how
so
to,
we off him
I think
then.
it's
So
like
we
this.
off him then.
Okay, yeah, you're right. There it is.
Yeah, we off him then.
But anyway, I learned that rich wasn't about money. Rich was about being able to live a rich life.
Mm.
And then I started making changes, and then the money started coming in. I'm not,
Yeah,
I
that's
definitely live a
that's
rich life.
that's a fact. And the thing is, as I was uh as I was in that grind mode, right? Just a few weeks ago, I kind of like what I'm sharing now in the sense of like trying to be more present. This is more like the last month, right? But just a couple weeks ago, and I was like still on grind mode. I realized like, yo, I am living a very rich life.
Yeah.
Like, and it was one of those things almost like I was taking it for granted and putting pressure on myself, thinking, yo, I have to pay off these student loans, I have to grind more, I have to do this, I have to do that. And uh it's it's one of the many problems with hustle culture.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you watch these entrepreneurs and these people on YouTube, and it just seemed like they don't sleep. It just seemed like they putting out tons of content. They always working. They always posting videos, and it's just like, yo, when do you sleep? When do you chill with your family? Do you have a family? It's like, yo, it's crazy. So for me, I realized that, although being tenacious in your work ethic is important and it's vital, it's just as important to, relax and be present and be grateful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the word that I've been saying, the term that I've been saying more often than not is gratitude is the attitude. Or if you want to flip it, the attitude is gratitude. You know what I mean? I got that from Pharrell. And it's just one of those things where it's like once you just realize what you have, the good, the bad,
Yeah.
the indifference. Once you realize it, it's
It's a wrap, bro.
changes your life.
It's mindset, man. It's
Hmm.
all mindset. And when you realize that, like where you are, Akil, right? When you go outside at night and you look up where you live, how
Hmm.
many stars can you count?
Millions.
Never forget to take it in. because you
Mm,
might move one day somewhere where I am. I don't get to see stars like that. You get what I'm
mm,
saying? But
yeah.
there's something else that I get here that you might be lacking. You
Right,
just gotta
right,
find that place. You gotta find those things that and just harness that, man, and hold that
right.
happiness. And it's all mindset, man. It's
It's a
really
fact.
all mindset.
Because once you realize, like, as much as we want to hustle and as much money as we all want to make and as much sales as we want to make, at the end of the day, it's like you still got to enjoy the journey. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think that was the thing I wasn't doing. I wasn't enjoying the actual journey. I was too focused on the end goal, where great things happen along the way, but you just take it for granted. So that's what I had to realize. Let me see. Let me jump into the chat again. We got Phil Rybal. Akil, did I hear you say you might pivot away from full-time reselling? That's a good question. So for me, what I realized, um, and I've said this a few times, I know I'm not gonna be a full-time reseller, when I'm old as hell, near retirement age. Like, no. Do I ever even actually plan on retiring? Probably not, because I can't see myself just chilling on a beach forever. But I think it's just more so about just recognizing, like, everything has its shelf life, and I'm in it now while I'm enjoying it. But once I no longer enjoy it, I'm gonna just do something else. Just like how I got into reselling in the first place was because I didn't enjoy my old career. You know what I mean? So just acknowledging, that everything is for a time. You know what I mean?
Hey, can I
How
ask you a
about
question?
yeah.
Did you enjoy it? I mean, I know you said why you got into it, but did you enjoy it when you got in? Or it was just like, I'm just gonna knock this out? Or did you get in and realize how lucrative it was and then just dove in? Or what?
So when I started reselling, it was literally just to pay the bills. Like, I was just trying to figure out a way to pay the bills. And I had a lot of clothes. Like, I had so much suits and shoes that I was like, people want this. And I know my stuff is expensive. So I could at least get rid of this stuff just to pay the rent. But then I realized, like, how fast it was selling. And I was just like, oh, I'm on to something. Like, if I can just get my hands on more things that people want, I could sell it fast. Like, so it was kind of like I was kind of like a late adopter of, like, selling stuff, because I didn't always, buy and sell stuff, but I kind of just fell in love with the process. Like, I fell in love with the thrill of the hunt, finding something, that somebody didn't want, and then selling it for profit. And then for most people like myself, once we realize that something's working, we just gonna keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what it was. I just kept doing it, and that's where I'm at with it now. I think the next step is to put as much energy and focus into reselling like I did for all these years, and put that same energy into the wine business.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And really test myself with that, because eBay is a relatively simple platform once you wrap your mind around it, but business as a whole is very competitive, and I think I need to get into that that lane, like just building a brand from scratch. You know what I mean? The wine business, I mean, like building that up
Yeah, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
scratch. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. We got some questions in here. Bounty Nomad, how are your posh sales? The holidays were super slow for me.
You know what? I only put one item for the holidays in Posh. A ton of those pink hoodies. And
Mm.
I'm not a part, like I'm not on Posh. I don't share. I don't even know how to share a closet. You just told me one day that the hoodies that I had was selling, and I
Mm-hmm.
had dozens of them. And I listed them, and when the holidays hit, man, they flew. So I was making 2, 3 sales on hoodies daily for like a
That's what's up.
week.
That's
Like a
what's
week.
up.
And then before that, I would sell like, every once in a blue. So
Yeah.
I'm on Poshmark, but I'm not daily big on Poshmark. I'm actually now, like I said, I've been planning a lot of stuff for this
Mm-hmm.
time off, and I'm getting my wife involved, and she's gonna deal with handle Poshmark.
Okay, that's what's up. Excuse me. Poshmark is relatively simple enough to the point where it's like you can kind of set it and forget it, but you'd make more sales if you got somebody in it daily, sharing a closet for you, putting stuff up on there. And that's the thing that's kind of helped me because it's more so um I kind of treat Poshmark as its own thing. So
Mhm.
like even though I cross list stuff on both platforms, I only sell clothing and shoes on Poshmark. Like I don't put all the hard goods and the PlayStations and stuff like that on there.
Mhm.
Um,
I
I don't know why, but I just don't.
I got a ton of followers on Poshmark somehow. Is that like easy to get a bunch of followers or what?
I think what Poshmark does is that I remember at one point they linked your Facebook to your Poshmark account. So like if you just had a Poshmark account, you would like instantly it was almost like a funnel. Like you would instantly start off with like 100 followers because they would come from your Facebook. And whether you active on the platform or not, you would have a ton of followers and you would gain a ton of followers. So I'm not sure what it's like, but I know that it's really irrelevant, the follower count,
Mhm.
because most of the time you could have 1 million followers, but if you're not selling, if those followers aren't looking for what you're selling, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So
Do you
that's how I
find
see about Posh, at least.
do you find that like it's easier to sell like women's clothing on Poshmark? Like to resell women's
Mhm.
clothing. You know how like women don't they resell like the I don't know. I tend to beat my clothes up a bit. I'll wear my jeans till they do. You know what I'm saying? But ladies tend to like keep their stuff nice and neat. Like my wife
Mhm.
got a closet full of stuff to resell. Do you think it's easier to do that on Poshmark than eBay or what?
Yeah, I mean, Poshmark made it so simple where it's everything is over the phone. You take the pictures, especially now you do the videos. You could even put like a try on video or like a detailed video of what you're selling. So it's user friendly and it's very not only is it user friendly, but it's very like social. They try to make it like a social platform. So
Yeah,
women flourish with Poshmark because
yeah. Because
women
I
make
feel like
friends
it's
easier.
more. It's like the stuff that I see is more like women clothing and stuff versus like just a random bunch
Right.
of stuff on Poshmark. I
Right.
mean, maybe I'm just tapped in to that,
Mhm.
but I don't, I don't Poshmark well, or I haven't in the past.
Mm. I mean, Poshmark started primarily as a women's clothing platform. You know what I mean? Like it was literally for women to kind of buy and sell and like trade damn near. You know what I mean? Like they have something in their closet they wasn't wearing or brand new with tags. I never got around to wearing it. Somebody else might appreciate it. Let me put it up on Poshmark. And I got on when they opened it up to men. So even my lens on Poshmark is different to somebody that's probably been on the platform for years. You know what I mean? Shout out to Josh. We got a $5 super chat. Came across a closet full of vintage forum designer clothing. What's the best way to resell? Uh, I would say do your research on the brands. Like type the brands in on eBay to see what those brands is selling for, and then put them up on eBay, and then put them up on Poshmark too. But price it on Poshmark a little more than you would price it for on eBay, since Poshmark fees is like that 20%. I'll probably put it like an extra $10 on the Poshmark price. And more often than not, you're gonna get an offer on your Poshmark sale anyway. So I would do that. What you think, Nomad?
Um, I'll probably start with eBay. Search for comps.
Mm-hmm.
See what's up there. Make sure you check what was sold, and get them listed on eBay first. I mean, because I don't, like I said, Posh is a little different for me. But I would recommend knocking the eBay stuff out and
Mm-hmm.
getting them on
Mm-hmm.
eBay.
Because I think eBay just has better comps. Like eBay, I mean, Poshmark, you can find comps. It's starting to get that clicky sound again on
Oh, is that me? Oh,
probably.
let me see if I can remember this.
Yeah, but yeah, but I think let me answer this question. I'll get to that question next, but I think eBay has a, for me at least, eBay just has a good system of showing the comps in the sense of like you know how much it's sold for. They show you the last 90 days. I think Poshmark goes back a little further, but eBay to me just gives you a better system of how much items are selling for and how long it took and stuff like that. Yeah, Bounty got some little technical difficulties, but let me check the chat real quick. Keel reminds me of how I felt after grad school. It's great to step back and slow down before you burn out. I mean, I think I burned out, to be honest with you. I think I did burn out. And it was one of those things where I caught it at the perfect time because it wasn't necessarily burnout because of the business. It was a combination of, being a new dad and trying to be super active and super present and just, dealing with all of that and then still trying to maintain the business. It was one of those things where I realized that I kind of had to, I literally had to make a decision. Like, are you going to be a super active dad or are you going to still focus on the business? And I made the decision to be a super active dad and just focus on her. And, I'm still working on the business, but I've developed such a good system to the point where I don't need to work as much and put as many hours into the business in order to still maintain. You know what I mean? And it's not always going to be like this. In the next, when she starts school or just as she gets older, things are going to change. So for me, I just realized like I'll just step back. I'll, do what I got to do for now. And when the time is right, we'll get back to business. But for, you know, everything is in seasons. What motivates you to stay the course when sales are slow? Very good question. Very good question. Uh, well, for me, honestly, sales haven't been slow in a while. Like the only time sales are slow is when I'm not putting in the work. I think I've put more emphasis on finding the items and only sourcing the items that have a very high sell through rate. And people say sell through rate all the time. Just to be clear, sell through rate, you can realize what the sell through rate is based on the items that sold compared to the items that are active. So, example, um, let me pick anything up. This little tripod thing. If I was on to go on eBay right now and I seen that there were 5 active listings of this particular item, but then when I checked the solds and I seen that there's 25 of these that sold in the past 90 days, that's a very high sell through rate. That means people are buying this up very quickly. So those are the items that I spend most of my energy and time on, and I just grab those up as opposed to picking up something that is the complete opposite, has 56 active items, active listings, and 3 sales in the past 90 days. Items like that, I just leave. Like it might sell for a ton of profit, and most of the time I still leave it because the odds of it actually selling is super slim. So I just pass on it. But I don't know if you was able to hear, but someone asked me what motivates me to stay the course when sales are slow. And I was basically just articulating the fact that I don't usually see slow sales unless I'm not doing my part.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I just focus on selling items that I know people want. You know what I mean? And by doing that, I'll see solid sales. And the thing is too, I've realized I'm so accustomed to the ebbs and flows of business that I know first quarter sales are typically slow because people are recovering from the holiday season. People are spending that much money. But I also know soon as tax season come around, people are shopping like crazy again. You know what I mean? So I just pay attention to shopping habits, and that's what kind of helped me, figure it out.
Can you hear me?
Uh, yeah, I was about to ask you, what motivates you to stay the course when sales are slow?
Well, what I was about to say, a few things. One is you guys motivate me. Having that that system where we get a chance to bounce off of each other on what's going on. When sales are slow for me, it's
Mm-hmm.
not usually slow for you or maybe Derek or whatever. And just having being able to talk to you guys or whatever is what motivates me. And another thing, um, having like a good fourth quarter goal. Like I didn't
Mm.
set any fourth quarter goals yet, but I'm not going to let it get past January before I set my goals for the fourth quarter. So it's
Right.
like even if sales are slow this week or even this month, they will not be slow for the fourth quarter. So if you
Right.
set put a nice number up, or you set your goals up, or what you want to have ready, like maybe picking up sweaters in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
If you go out sourcing one day, say you want to find something and you can't really find anything, all right, you know what? I'll pick up some jackets. I know it's March, but I'll buy a few coats because you got your fourth quarter goals together, right? So that's what kept me motivated.
That's a gem. That's a gem right there. Cause I know I'm gonna butcher this quote because like in the moment I can't remember it, but it's a quote that goes, you fail if you fail to plan.
Yeah,
It's like does that make sense? You fail if you plan if you fail to plan or something like that. And it's just like whatever the goal is, you gotta at least set some type of plan, some type of standard you have to set, or else you're just going to be kind of just flailing, kind of just going along for the ride. But you kind of have to set some targets and like some actual goals for yourself in order to be successful.
it
um
kill.
yeah.
See, it sounding like I'm about to flake out again, man. Maybe I should try to get a proper ending instead of coming back in 100 times. This
Yeah,
thing going. It sounds like it's gonna mess up again in a second,
yeah, I'm starting to hear it shake a little bit, but
a little bit.
we'll
But
wrap
for
up in a
me, I
couple
mean, I could
minutes.
wrap up. I'm just on my part before I mess your stream up again.
Well, no, so shit. Let me just thank you now. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. You dropped some gems here today. If you want to drop your eBay store in the chat or whatever, just let people know where they can find you. The floor is yours.
Okay, well, thanks for having me. Yo, you can look for me on. Check my Instagram is Bounty Nomad, BOUNTY NOMAD _ shop. You can find me everywhere else. I got several eBays or whatever. Um, and also I have the Bounty Nomad YouTube or whatever. I have a few videos. I'm actually working on a video right now on basically a video about the entire journey because I've been filming the whole time from the very beginning. So I'm about to put out something. I was thinking about even maybe waiting another 7 to 8 months to add more to it. Um, but yeah, man, anything Bounty Nomad is me. So just try to find me. You got any questions, hit me up, especially on Instagram or whatever.
All right. Well, that's what's
That's
up,
it,
bro.
man. Thanks
Thank you
for
for your
having me.
time.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. No
And
doubt. Thank you for your time. And
shout out to everybody out there. Good luck, man. Set your goals and make it happen.
set your goals. Set your goals. All right, bro. Thank you.
All right, peace.
All right. Peace. Well, yeah. So, shout out to Bounty Nomad. Let's see if we got any other questions. I'm gonna stick around for a couple minutes. If you guys got any questions, throw it in the chat. But I'm gonna probably head out of here in a couple minutes as well. I know I gotta run to the post office before they shut it down. Um, let's see. Thanks for the live, one item at a time. That's right. What do you guys think about Instagram influencers? Um, I think it's a thriving career. I mean, it's definitely saturated. So I think it's important to, be yourself. That way you can kind of stand out because a lot of people are trying to copy other people's style. But I think it's one of those things. If you got something to offer, something to share, it could be lucrative. You know what I mean? Yes, that's the quote. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I could not get that quote correct for nothing. So thank you. Thank you very much. And then shout Shorty Duop says he'll check out Bounty's YouTube channel. That's what's up. All right, y'all. So since I'm not seeing any questions, I definitely want to thank everybody for tuning in to the live show. Shout out to Bounty Nomad once again for joining me. I'm gonna just continue to try to interview other resellers, interview other entrepreneurs, have other people here so we can just have some good dialogue and just bounce across some ideas and give you guys some inspiration, some motivation, share some insight on some stuff that we've, either experts on, or I might bring somebody that's an expert and I might just sit and listen. You know what I mean? And we could all just kind of learn and gain some knowledge that way. So shout out to everybody. Jay Brown says thank you and Nomad for the gems today. Absolutely. And like I said, thanks again. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.